You know, we're all pretty obsessed with what we eat, the water we drink, the air we breathe. But what about the light we see every single day? Today, we are diving into a critical yet almost completely forgotten nutrient for your health: light. Now, that's a powerful statement, right? It totally reframes light from something that just, helps us see in the dark into a fundamental biological necessity. It's right up there with air, food, and water. So the big question is, why isn't anyone talking about it? So here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll look at why light is this forgotten nutrient. Then we'll get into our modern light dilemma. We're going to uncover how light literally controls you. It's pretty alarming links to disease. And this is the important part, how you can reclaim your natural rhythm. And finally, we'll peek into the future of lighting. Okay, let's get right into it. While diet and nutrition are just everywhere, you can't escape it, light has been almost completely ghosted by mainstream health conversations. And this is despite a huge amount of really solid science showing just how critical it is. And this chart, wow, it just lays out the scale of the neglect perfectly. So get this, one major publisher had about 1,900 books on nutrition and diet. And how many on light and health? One. Just one. And that book was published before modern LED lights were even a thing. It just goes to show you the massive, massive disparity in focus. And that brings us right to the heart of the problem today, the dramatic and honestly incredibly recent shift in our daily exposure to light and the technology that's been driving that change. And this slide illustrates the conflict perfectly. Think about it. For thousands of generations, our bodies evolved with bright, full-spectrum sunlight during the day. That's a rich, balanced diet of all the colors of light. What do we have now? We live in dim, indoor light all day, and then we blast ourselves with bright, blue, rich, artificial light all night. It's kind of like treating a healthy, balanced meal for a bag of candy every single day. And to really put this into perspective, humans lived with just natural light for 10,000 generations. Then, in the 1880s, Edison's bulb shows up. It had very little blue light, by the way, but it was only in the 2010s that we were just flooded with high blue LED lighting. In the grand scheme of human history, this change literally happened yesterday. So here's the kicker. This whole radical shift happened in the name of energy savings. We've been chasing this metric called lumens per watt, which only measures a light's visible brightness. And what's the cheapest, most efficient way to get bright light? With a blue LED chip. So we've adopted lighting that's amazing for the power grid, but as we're about to see, potentially disastrous for our biology. So how exactly does this blue-rich light cause so many problems? Well, the answer is in this really cool mechanism deep inside our brains. It's really just a simple three-step process. First, that specific sky blue light enters your eye and hits these special receptors that are basically daytime detectors. Second, those detectors send a powerful signal straight to your brain's master clock, shouting, "Hey, it's daytime." And third, that daytime signal slams the brakes on the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that's supposed to be telling every single cell in your body that it's nighttime. And melatonin is so much more than just a sleep aid. Think of it as the manager of your body's entire overnight repair crew. It's a powerhouse antioxidant. It's responsible for all that nightly restoration, and, this is crucial, it helps suppress the growth of cancerous cells. When we shut down melatonin night after night, we're basically firing our body's cleanup crew. Now, this disruption isn't just theoretical. There is a massive body of scientific evidence connecting our modern light habits to some of the most serious diseases of our time. It's pretty alarming. And we are not talking about small studies here. The UK Biobank, for instance, is this landmark study that tracked, get this, 88,000 people. They gave them monitors to measure their actual light exposure day and night. And the results? They were stunningly clear. People who got more bright outdoor daylight lived longer, they had fewer psychiatric problems and less heart disease. And on the flip side, people who slept with the lights on in their bedroom had shorter lifespans and more disease. These are huge population-level effects. The link to cancer is especially strong. Historically, if you look at the data, breast cancer rates climbed right in lockstep with the global spread of electric light. Then you have studies showing that women who are blind from an early age and aren't affected by light at night rarely get breast cancer. And in the lab, when scientists took low melatonin blood from people exposed to light and gave it to rats with human tumors, the tumors just exploded with growth.
Okay, I know that was a lot of bad news, but here is the good news, the really good news. This is one of the easiest health problems you can possibly fix. So let's pivot from the problem to empowerment and look at some simple, actionable solutions.
So here it is, a simple 3-step plan. First, get outside, especially in the morning. Morning sun is the most powerful signal for locking in your body's master clock. Second, after the sun goes down, switch to lights that have zero blue in them. Think warm, amber, or even red-toned lights. And third, sleep in total darkness. I'm talking blackout curtains, cover up any little electronic lights, the whole deal. At its core, this solution really can be this simple. It doesn't have to be complicated or expensive. For your evenings, as Dr. Moore-Eade says, you can start by just changing the darn light bulb. So if the fix is so simple, why isn't this common knowledge? Well, that brings us to the future of lighting and the systemic challenges we really need to overcome. One of the biggest roadblocks, believe it or not, is regulation that means well but is just ill-informed. The current rules are obsessed with lumens per watt, that energy efficiency metric. This standard heavily favors blue-rich LEDs and actually penalizes healthier, full-spectrum lights, because creating all those other beautiful colors of the rainbow is treated as just wasted watts. It's crazy. The ultimate solution, though, is actually already here. It's called circadian lighting. These are smart lighting systems that automatically change their color and their intensity all day long to perfectly mimic the sun, bright and blue in the morning, warm and totally blue-free in the evening, all without you even having to think about it. Which really leaves us with this one final critical question. In our relentless push for efficiency, have we kind of forgotten what we're trying to sustain in the first place? As we optimize our world for watts and for data centers, we have to stop and ask, are we accidentally engineering the human out of human health?